Kat, do you need a translation device?
No, that's fine. No, I'm okay. Thank you.
Ok, buenos días de nuevo. Bienvenidos a Cartagena todos. Welcome to the Global Youth Entrepreneurship Summit. I'm Christina Capaz, the director here for YBI in Latin America and the Caribbean, the one office we have outside of London. So we're really excited to have everybody here in Colombia to get to know a little bit about our life here in this region and have the wonderful opportunity to be with so many of you from all over the world. You had to hear a lot from me last night, but luckily for the rest of this time, I will be joined in our Master of Ceremony role by my colleague Chris Massey, who most of you know, who's our Head of Entrepreneurship.
Good morning, good to see you all again.
So before I hand it over to Chris, just a few logistics. First of all, on the translation. So I will be speaking in English. English will be the main language of the event, but several of our speakers and participants are not bilingual, that are Spanish speakers, which we really thought it was important to have a presence from Latin America since we're here in the region. So anyone who is not bilingual, please be sure that you have one of these headsets. And in order to work it, you need to push the on button, choose a channel, 1 for Spanish, 2 for English. And if you don't need it, you can just unplug the headset and you won't be hearing the noise coming through. Okay, I think that's our main instruction. The other thing is it's 9:15, we're 15 minutes late, but it's going to be our job to keep us on track the rest of the day. My last name, by the way, is a Syrian name, but in Spanish it sounds exactly like the word for capable. And so my grandfather used to always say, what are you capable of today? Capaz de qué? And today I'm going to be capable of keeping time and being strict about it. So, so now you know, be prepared for the strict timekeeping. Okay, well with that, welcome, bienvenidos a todos. I'll turn it over to Chris.
Yeah, wow, look at it, we're here at last. Give yourselves a round of applause for getting here. It has been a long journey. I know that some of you have been preparing for months. Some of you have been applying for visas, booking your flights. The journey has been long. It's taken some of you literally days to get here. So well done on getting here. And it started off slowly, you've been drifting in, and then we're all here in this big room now. We had the great fiesta last night, warming things up. The party atmosphere started last night, and here we are today. Everyone awake? Yeah? Feeling okay? Yeah? 60 staff from YBI members, over 60 staff from YBI members. 34 different countries represented. We've got a lot of different partners and supporters here. We've got mentors, and very importantly, we've got young entrepreneurs, the people who we're all working to support. So I think it's going to be a great week. Welcome, and so we can keep to time, I'm going to get off the stage.
All right. So we're really excited and pleased to be able to present to all of you for our opening remarks, Anita Thiessen. She will be joined by Lakshmi Venkatesan, from a longtime member in India. So as you all know, Anita joined YBI to take on the role of CEO a 1.5 years ago. And we've all been really privileged to have her leadership that's really driving the organization forward to our next phase of growth, sustainability, scale. She's been fabulous at being a really great listener, understanding the network, and really taking on our mission and helping us to understand where we need to go next. So let me please invite up Anita Thiessen and Lakshmi Venkatesan.
Great, good morning everybody, and as Chris was alluding, we started off yesterday with the fiesta, and I feel the atmosphere is maybe a little bit more sedate now than it was yesterday. And you'll know that tonight we have the official awards ceremony, but if I had to guess, by the end of the week, I think that the member delegation that's going to win the prize for heart and soul of the summit, dance leaders and so forth, is our delegation from Anguilla. And if I don't know how to dance as well as you by the end of the week, you will have failed. But on a more serious note, welcome to YBI's Global Youth Entrepreneurship Summit. I'm absolutely delighted to be here with you today. The first time since I joined YBI as your CEO last year that we've come together as a global network. And it has been an extraordinary 18 months. And without a doubt, getting to know you, our members, and the entrepreneurs you support has been my inspiration. I've connected with many of you in Turkey, the Netherlands, and here in Colombia. Had the privilege of representing the network at meetings in Washington and Geneva, and met with young entrepreneurs when I met with you in Toronto and Johannesburg. And what has so impressed me is the commitment and can-do spirit of everyone that I meet. So many of you are social entrepreneurs yourself, having built up your organizations from an idea. Others have taken over the helm from founders and have not been afraid to take risks or challenge the status quo. It's that entrepreneurial mindset that we nurture in young people that I find so inspiring in our network. But what makes the YBI network truly special is the diverse experience that you all bring and the deep and trusting relationships that so many of you have forged. As we know through the mentoring programs so central to our work, abiding and honest relationships can unlock transformative change. When we are supported through the good times and bad, where we can celebrate what works, but also be open about our challenges or failures. And it is my hope that here at this summit, we will be able to share openly, to build those bonds, to chart our future together. And in many respects, the journey of the YBI network reflects that of the businesses we helped to start and grow. We were a startup with a charismatic founding CEO working out of our version of a garage, which is a garret in Kensington Palace. The founders moved on and I brought different skills and perspectives. We've built a strong network, but on all fronts, our operating environment is more challenging. And as incoming CEO, I've also faced some of the challenges that so many businesses and our member organizations face around staffing, financing, and evolving our service offer. And we're making headway on all those fronts. We've brought on board some fantastic new people and put huge energy into building connections around the network. We have a concerted focus on securing new, meaningful partnerships with income increasing. And in collaboration with you, we have started to shape new service offers for our members. Of course, the challenges and changes have not rested on my shoulders alone. I am supported by wonderful colleagues in the network team and YBI board, and by all of you in the YBI network. Indeed, in my first year, one of my priorities was getting to know our members throughout the world so that we really do work together as a global team. Lakshmi Venkateswaran, president and founder of YBI's long-standing member in India, was the first of those members I spoke to. And Lakshmi will join me shortly in welcoming you to the summit. She very generously shared with me the YBI story over our nearly 20 years as a network. And when I asked what advice she would give me, she was very clear on 2 points. Bring the network together again in a global summit and celebrate the work of the entrepreneurs we support through the Young Entrepreneur Award. And as I spoke with other YBI member CEOs across the globe, these words were echoed time and again. So Lakshmi, colleagues throughout the network, you have spoken, we have heard, and here we are in Cartagena. But I heard not only that you wanted a summit, but also why it was important to bring the network together globally. First, connections and collaboration are at the heart of the diverse YBI network. You are all on the front line of supporting young entrepreneurs and want the best evidence, approaches, and tools to do your jobs better. By working together on mentoring, digital tools, the new soft skills curriculum, and so much more, we inspire and support each other to constantly increase our impact for young entrepreneurs. And as many of you have joined the network since our last summit in 2013, this week is our opportunity to build and strengthen relationships with each other across our growing global community. Second, I've heard that you want our global network to really stand out and to help boost your own national standing. You want the YBI name to matter, to help open up new opportunities for your organizations and the entrepreneurs and mentors you work with, to make the case for the impact of the holistic support you provide. And if I'm honest, in recent years, we haven't done this as well as you expect us to, and as I know we can do. The summit is a key moment for YBI to reassert our position and to really engage with you on where you want the network to go in future years. Third, and finally, the world has changed since YBI came into being at the turn of the century. The entrepreneur support sector has grown dramatically. Digital and social transformation is happening at pace. The global goals are defining the international agenda. The funding landscape is more challenging. And some 150 million young people around the world are still unemployed or working but living in poverty. Standing still is simply not an option. Not if we want to be relevant to young entrepreneurs today and in the future. Not if we're going to reach our goal of supporting 1 million young people into business by 2025. And all your rich insights have shaped the agenda for the summit and its overarching theme of innovation for impact. Across our daily themes of future, progress, and growth, we have created space to build connections, to be inspired by people within and outside the network, and to shape future directions. And I'd like to ask each of you, throughout our week together, to really think about the most important things we need to focus on to drive change through our network. And as we are all together for the first time in a long time, this is also a great opportunity to celebrate our network and our achievements. So in your delegate packs, you each have a copy of our 2018 Impact Report, which gives a great snapshot of just the past year, and it was a busy one. From building capabilities in user-centered design and evolving new services through our inaugural Innovation Challenge, to exploring how digital can accelerate the impact of our programs and collaborating on cutting-edge research on the impact of mentoring. For the first time, we're also tracking how well we are supporting our members and how healthy the network is overall. And I'd like to thank you all for all the time you've taken to give us your feedback. A key message is that as members, you are clear on what you want from the network, to be able to improve the quality of your programs, to share knowledge and to network, and to connect with partners and funders. And you broadly feel these priorities are being met, but there is work to be done to deepen connections and better leverage the expertise across our unique network. But of course, at the heart of our work together as a network are the young people we are here to support. The aspiring young entrepreneurs around the world with the talent, energy, and commitment to make real change in their communities. Over the past year alone, we have together worked to support nearly 94,000 young people to develop the skills needed to set up or grow a business. We've provided over 40,000 with business advice, 13,000 with access to finance, and connected over 4,000 with a mentor. This is certainly worth celebrating, and I applaud each one of you and your organizations for your dedication. So, to you, young entrepreneurs, And at the awards ceremony tonight, we will celebrate those entrepreneurs and everyone who is at the heart of all we do as a network. The members who are innovating to meet today's challenges for young entrepreneurs. The mentors who give so freely of their time and without whom we simply could not support entrepreneurs as we do. And the young entrepreneurs whose imagination, determination, and desire to make a difference are why we are all here. I would now like to invite Lakshmi to extend her own welcome to you on behalf of the YBI members.
Hola, amigos.
Hola.
The two words I have learned in 2 days in Colombia. So if I stay here for a month, you know how rich my vocabulary is going to be. Thank you, Anita, for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts with all our dear friends and colleagues. Over the last 27 years, I have been saying a lot of things to a lot of people about how our underserved youth need unstinting support. I don't know how many people listen to me, but I think Anita did. And so I would like to say thank you, Anita, for not only listening to me, but to listen to all our members with your complete heart and soul. You listen to our needs, you listen to our concerns, you listen to our wishes. And that is why, putting it all together, you have made this stupendous effort by you and your team to make Cartagena happen. So, I think last night was an example of what this YBI team is capable of and what members can respond to when you come forth that way. So, please join me in appreciating, showing our full appreciation to Anita and team for bringing us all together in Cartagena and making it a huge, wonderful experience. How thrilling it is to stand before all of you today, some of whom I have known for many, many decades, and some of whom I am getting to know for the first time. When Anita was tracing the history of YBI from the Kensington Garret, it took me back down memory lane also. And our history goes way back to 1992. It's amazing how when BYST was born in India, we were inspired by the Prince of Wales. But we were delighted to start the program. We didn't quite know what we were doing, and we were very lonely. So we were absolutely delighted when UK said, why don't you join hands and let us go and make some friends and create some YBI programs around the world. So my colleagues in BYST and myself had the privilege of going to South Africa in 1994 and helping set up the program. We were in Canada, Toronto in 1996, in Sri Lanka 1998, Bangladesh 1999, and at the turn of the century, we got the opportunity to go to Brazil and share our ideas, to Argentina, to China, to Indonesia. The name goes on and on. Some of those countries may not be with us here today, but so many more have joined. So we, having started as this first kid on the block and the only kid on the block, are delighted to be amongst so many of you. And I was just getting the count before I got on stage, and I said, how many countries do we really have now? Absolute number, and they said 48. I was 3 countries behind. I had written 45. So that is the pace at which we are all growing. I think Anita made a very good remark about how she had talked to all the people, and we all told her what we want as a network. The message we seem to have given her is that let us all get together to improve the quality of our programs, to share knowledge, of course, and to network, and to connect with partners and funders. A requirement that is there, whether you were born in 1992 or whether you were born in 2018, we all have. We need funders, we need supporters. But may I extend this objective, Anita, to include one more objective for us collectively. I believe YBI can be a voice, not just a voice, the voice in the international community. I think we have the ability to shed unique light on empowering youth through entrepreneurship and creating employment. And in this room, we have enough collective intellect, wisdom, and horsepower to be heard on the world stage, whether it's the United Nations or whether it's the World Bank, be it the Asian Development Bank or the European Union, Microsoft or IKEA. And when we engage with these movers and shakers, I think we will be able to convince them very clearly and soundly that we have a model that is worth emulating. In fact, earlier talking to Malcolm about yesterday or day before, I'm even more convinced that indeed YBI can more than hold its own on these international forums. I know we are conducting a lot of good research. Jörg, Boris, Myra, Helena, Bo, all of them are doing a lot of good work. And I'm talking to each one of you, I also gather the quality of the information that we have. I think we are sitting on really a mine, a great gold mine. And we have ample data. BYST is willing to share more than 27 years of data. We are not like the government, we gather data, we keep data, and we share data. We have fantastic stories, all of us, each one of us. We have it in our yearly booklets, annual reports, we have it on our websites. We have a whole lot of stories. And when we put all this together, I'm sure we can get the attention of the world influencers. And why should we get the attention of the world influencers? Not just to be able to create a real solution for this problem, but we can also take the message that is given on the world stage back to our home countries, whether you're in Colombia or in Canada, whether you're in India or in Israel, or whether you're in South Africa, or whether you are in Sweden. I believe that what we say collectively on the stage and what we say individually in our own countries have a great bearing on each other. Of course, YBI is not just about playing a role on the world stage. Ultimately, it is about changing lives on the ground. And that's why, thank you again, YBI and Anita, for listening to the second part of what we requested. And that is to please bring the Entrepreneur of the Year awards back into the fold and to celebrate them. Because I believe that the kind of opportunity that these entrepreneurs get through the kind of YBI awards that we have, they could not have imagined in their lives. If you look back over the last 10 years for young entrepreneurs traveling from over 48 different countries and have celebrated their successes at various summits. I know entrepreneurs who have never stepped out of the country, have been to Hong Kong, have been to Mexico City, Dubai, Edinburgh, you name it. These are opportunities that they would have never imagined in their lives. I know personally that more than 15 of BYST's award winners over the past several years and over 22 shortlisted entrepreneurs have been extremely grateful for these YBI awards because it has given them more media visibility, it has given them more customers, it has given them more profits, you name it, they have been able to expand and grow. But sometimes the impact on these young people are something that you never imagined. Sharad, a young entrepreneur from rural India, stepped out of his village onto a plane for the very first time in his life, flew to London to win the Entrepreneur of the Year award 5 years ago. He is literally one among the million because in his tribe of 10 million, there are hardly any entrepreneurs. So he's unique in that, but then even more unique in the fact that he won an international award coming from his community. But life was not cozy for Sharad. It was not so easy. When he got married, because he was coming from a tribal community, he got married to a society lady. So his in-laws said, no, this shall not be. We do not recognize this marriage. So they pretty much cut off their daughter and the son-in-law. And this was one thing that was really, Sharad was feeling extremely bad about. It was a cross on his shoulder. But guess what happened? He came to London, he won the award, went back a celebrity, and all of a sudden everything was forgotten. His in-laws embraced him, the whole community embraced him, and that, he said, was one of the best outcomes of winning the Entrepreneur of the Year award that he could have never planned for. So, thank you once again for reviving and bringing back the Entrepreneur of the Year awards in 2016. continuing this rich tradition, we have three wonderful stars amongst us from diverse countries, India, Mongolia, and Sweden. So, and I know all of them are extremely eager to know what the results are, so good luck to you, Buram, good luck to you, Abhishek, good luck to you, Swapnil. You just have to wait a little bit longer. But having said all of this, I think once again, Anita, we will be amiss if we do not recognize the enormous effort you and your team have put together in literally 1.5 years to make this stupendous effort and to make all of this happen. And we promise you, Anita, and we promise you, YBI, that we are all behind you. Imagine, you have 48 countries, literally a mini United Nations behind you. Imagine what we can accomplish. We are behind you every step of the way, and so let 2019 be a great beginning for all of that. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Lakshmi, for your words of support and inspiration. Just a few more words from me. I would also like to warmly thank our partners and sponsors who have made this summit possible. Accenture, we'll have a big Accenture team here, but right now it's Heidi. The IDB Lab in Maritza is with us today, and a new partner, Nestle Colombia. We simply would not be here without your support. So thank everybody. Could everybody thank our sponsors? And of course, we wouldn't be here without each one of you. And so it is my hope that throughout this Global Summit, you're going to feel inspired, connected, and truly committed to our vision of a world where all young people with a passion for running a business can truly fulfill their potential. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Anita, and thank you, Lakshmi. So